Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Tavern Talks. Tonight, I think we're into for a bit of a treat that I wasn't expecting. Hopefully, everything will be okay, but I've walked into somewhere that it seems there's caution tape everywhere, and that's probably not a good thing for me. So that's where we're going to start with this thing tonight. Before we continue, though, I am going to say that I'd like to have Northwolf kind of introduce himself, tell him what he's doing over there because he's got some pretty crazy things going on and he's doing a good job. So, kind of give us a little breakdown of who you are, where you come from, what your skill set is, that kind of thing.
Sure. So thanks so much for having me here. My name is Northwolf911. You can find me in Northwolf911 Gaming on all platforms, or Northwolf911. It depends on how you type it, wherever you go. You can Google it as well. I normally stream TTRPGs, RPGs, and JRPGs, and I come from a background as a game designer slash software engineer, and we've been launching recently. A campaign this year for TTRPGs, and I'm really excited as we are partnered now with Free League, and we are actually play testing and playing along and doing a review on the Walking Dead TTRPG, which is currently what we're doing right now. We have some plans for the future for some other titles, which I'm really excited about, like if you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, Aliens, and some other titles as well. I don't want to give away too much,
You
but
mean
really excited about that.
You mean this right here?
Yes, I will be playing that sometime this year, so I'm excited. We have a bunch of great people that I have in stored and lined up to play alongside us and tell these amazing stories, and it's a collaborative effort at the end of the day. So I'm really excited about this new venture as we've been focused primarily the last 3 years on just video games, because that's what I grew up with. But TTRPGs is something of a newer venture for me within the past 2 to 3 years, and I feel like a lot of people have a kind of negative connotation. Those who don't understand TTRPGs, they usually have a tendency to think about D&D and just get overwhelmed with the amount of information that you need to know, or the math, or all of the rules. And even though 5e is a lot better than what it was, it still can be a little bit of an undertaking for some people, and a little nerve-wracking. So my job as a newer person into the space is to tell people that are just interested in video games and kind of give that and just many other titles. So it all depends on what you want to. But that's what we got in store, and I'm really excited to share this experience with all of you guys.
Yeah, no, I'm super psyched, and being a big fan of Freely Publishing for 2 3 years now. We did an actual play with the One Ring about a year and a half ago. We did a 12 episode series with that, and it was incredible. The the difference of what they bring to storytelling compared to a much more crunchier game like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, I think they've really got their stride. We've also
Yes.
played Alien, where I was killed in the first game. That was a lot of fun. And I think tonight we're pretty much. I'm probably, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm going to kind of be invincible, I probably would die tonight. So it's okay.
You never know.
Never know.
You never know.
I wore my punk rock. This is my heavy metal bard shirt tonight. So I'm
It's perfect. It's
pushing. I
perfect.
was
It
actually
fits
looking for like a baseball bat or something around the house. I brought my I got my hammer ready. We're good. Let's do this.
Yeah, you got a hammer ready. You just need one of these, right?
Yeah,
Just a
no, I was
baseball
looking
bat
for
with
it.
barbed wire.
Yeah, I was looking
You
for
know,
one. Yeah.
it's just never know when you need it.
Never
right?
know when you need it. I'm actually gonna and I know this is like never something I should do, but I'm actually going to kill my horrific looking blur on my screen. It's gonna look like a really bad looking, setup. But in all honesty, it might work really well for this setting because it's all thrashed right now. It's not put together. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. I have something in mind to kind of drive you through the world of The Walking Dead, and I'm excited to see where it goes and what decisions you make. So
yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Like I said, the way this works is he's gonna kind of give me the presentation of where we're starting in the world. And then I'm going to be asking very simple questions like, what are we looking at to our left? What are we looking at to our right? What is happening in front of us? Where's the next big icon that I can kind of walk to? And if we have interactive players in the chat room, throw those ideas out at me. I'm willing to go after as much as possible. If I get bit by a walker tonight, then I'll just be the walker for the night. It's okay. We got this. But I'm really excited for it, and we're gonna do some fun stuff. Like he's gonna bring Sirenscape to this, and we're gonna have a good time tonight. So let's saddle up. I'm ready. I got my drink, and I'm good to go.
Are you ready?
I'm
ready.
ready.
Are you ready? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to bring you into the world in the way that I normally start every story, which is a little bit descriptive of where we're gonna be at. So the interesting thing about the Walking Dead universe, before we start, is you can literally pick up this universe and place it anywhere in the world. So you can be in Virginia, and you can be in Georgia. You can be with all the locations that the Walking Dead TV show has been placed, and even France now with Daryl's adventures and stuff. But you don't have to keep it in that section. You can, as long as you have a map of the location and you put something together, it'll work out.
Oh yeah.
So, which is really awesome. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this universe. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to just pick you up like a crane and kind of just drop you in the middle of this universe. And the way that I'm going to do that is we're going to kind of envision winter time.
Okay.
Whereas kind of between winter and fall, or excuse me. Yeah, winter and fall. Winter and fall is a good spot. So we're in winter and fall, and we're probably somewhere, I would say, in the Virginia mountain area. I like to be in the Virginia mountains because I like the mountains. All right.
We talking like we're going like old school Appalachia, like creepy.
Yeah, old school Appalachia. All you see are forests. You see leaves on the ground, twigs, dead twigs. You see just things going all over the place. When we're going to zoom in the camera to little bits and pieces of the world, and you're just gonna see kind of it zoom in towards the ground floor. You're gonna see a squirrel run past by you, some deer, and then you're gonna start hearing some weird noises. Towards the back, kind of sounds like someone's gurgling water, but you can't really see it yet.
Okay.
You can't see what's making that noise.
Yeah.
So we're gonna continue walk through the forest-infested walker area. So we see walkers off in the distance, but walkers or Z's, depending on where you're from culturally in this game, you will call it whatever it is. Some call it biters, some call it Z's, some call it walkers. It all depends on where you're from and what experience you have with them. But they're really slow. They're not very quick. But we're gonna try to pass by unscathed here. So my question to you here is: do you want to go north, east, south, or west.
So where am I? I'm hearing the sounds from behind me.
Okay.
How much skills do I have for like understanding where I'm if I'm looking this forward, like where am I looking? Am I looking
It's the
north?
forest.
Okay,
You
so I'm
really
kind
don't
of
have
kind of off.
really a sense of direction unless you look up and see where the sun is.
Yeah.
And in this instance, the sun is to your left.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. So that means I'm going to go because I know since it's my left. Let's see here. I'm gonna head. I'm gonna head northwest.
Northwest. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So as you continue to head northwest, the sounds of the walkers seem to die down, and it starts getting dark. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So time has passed,
Yep.
and now you're starting to hear cicadas come out because it's getting dark at night.
Oh, great.
And we're walking through. Everything seems to be fine, and we finally come across what seems like a sign on the door, and that sign kind of reads like very faint. You have vines covering it over. It's been about 5 to 6 years since the whole apocalypse started.
Okay.
So you have overgrown elements, coming around. Nature's starting to fight back, and you see evergreen. But like instead of having like the nice, pretty, beautiful sign, you just see like an E, a V, and then like the R is kind of like sideways a bit. And then spray painted on that is a big W with a circle around it. So we're gonna walk through that area very cautiously.
Okay.
There are some buildings to your left. There's about 4 buildings to your left, 3 buildings to your right when you're walking down the center of the city. Where do you want to go?
So I'm standing in between two sets of buildings, right?
Yes.
What do I know? Because I don't know if everybody in the audience knows, and I'm not a big, I'm not caught up with with the scenes, or not the scenes, but the pop culture for this one. So I'm excited because it makes me, because I'm learning this firsthand. So would I know what the W with the spray paint around it is?
You as the player,
Yeah.
if you've never come across it, you would not know.
Okay.
Now, if you're a fan of this of the
series,
show,
yeah.
and you're a fan of the comic book, you would know what that is right now. So there are a group of people called wolves, and they believe in liberation and setting people free. And how do they do that? They go into your towns that you've settled in and kill everyone and loot everything and leave nobody alive.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I'm looking at this sign, not knowing what it means, and I'm wandering in, and if I look to my left, I'm at 3 buildings. Is there anything about these 3 buildings that might catch my attention?
Sure. So there's some buildings to your left or to your right?
To my left. So 4 buildings on my left,
To your
3 on
left.
my right. Yep.
So to the left, you see a warehouse, pretty large warehouse. It's green on the outside. Again, vegetation's kind of just overgrowing this landscape, so it's kind of growing up on the sides, vines and stuff. The second building has a spray paint, really large. It says "Wolves are here" in big, bright red letters.
Okay.
And then towards the front of, so that's the side, towards the front of that same building, you have broken glass windows that look like rocks have been thrown in, and you have your door that's been busted completely down. The third building after that, you're kind of too far away to see, but from what you see, it looks like a normal house. It could be kind of an old Victorian house built in the 2000s. Kind of renovated, so it's like something that's been there before. It's been renovated, but since the apocalypse, no one's really kept it.
Yep.
But the windows seem to be fine, and the door seems to be intact.
All right. And I'm seeing nothing on the ground. I'm seeing no footprints. I'm seeing no blood. Nothing.
No, because you're in the middle of the street. However, if you look straight ahead,
Sure.
you see two cars that have been head collisioned together, so they're like collided. And in the middle of that is a walker that has been split in half and can't move. He can't really go anywhere, but he's definitely sees you and he has your attention.
Okay. I'm going to first head over. I'm going to head to the left real fast, and I'm going to
Okay.
I'm going to see, is the door locked or unlocked next to the warehouse, or for the warehouse.
So there's the one that has the storefront that has no door.
Okay.
Then you have the warehouse, and then you have the house after that.
Okay, but the far closer I get, the closer that creature is I'm going to be to the walker.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the walker can't go anywhere. It's pinned currently between two doors or two cars. Excuse me.
Oh, so like the cars have literally collapsed between.
They've literally collided together, and it's pinned between the two cars.
Okay. I'm going to head to the house then.
Okay. So as you're heading closer to the house, the walker seems to be looking at you. And walkers in this case, zombies or Z's or biters, their one main focus is to feed. That's it.
Right.
There's no intentions behind that. So he sees you, and he's definitely going to continue to try to get to you. As he's doing that, he's ripping his flesh off of the car, and he starts ripping himself in half. So you start seeing what seems to be like rubber bands kind of overstretched, and they just really start elastic, like it's an elastic that just starts stretching off of it, and he rips himself in half. So he starts now crawling towards you, not very fast, but he's definitely
moving.
coming towards you.
All right. And how far away is this thing to me?
I would say it's about a good 20 feet.
20
away.
feet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got enough space to run away.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to run, and I'm going to see, is that door to the house locked or unlocked?
Sure. So as you get to the door, you notice that the door just happens to be unlocked. So you go ahead and open that door.
Very, very carefully, I will open that door.
Okay. You open that door, and when you open the door, what are you going to do? Are you going to close the door behind you, or are you going to...
Oh, yeah, I'm going to close the door behind me. Yeah, no.
Okay. So
See if there's a lock or some sort of deadbolt on it so I can hold that, whatever it is behind me.
So it does have a deadbolt.
Okay.
So go ahead and lock that door.
Okay.
All right. So once you lock that door, what you see inside is, like I mentioned before, it's an older home that got restored in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So you definitely see the restoration that was done in this home. But again, being that, it's been the apocalypse, it's got some dirt in it, it's got, grime in it, you seem to be okay. But when you look at the hallway a little closer, you see hand marks spread across that wall, and that wall is just covered in what looks like dry blood, and also on the right hand side, and some footprints that looks to be like just humanoid.
Yeah.
And when you look down, you see a severed arm.
Oh.
And
All
that
right.
severed arm has a bite mark on it.
Okay.
So the severed arm is going to have a bite mark from the walker, and you see a walker dead with its head imploded to your left. It looks like a sledgehammer was like literally just smashed through that guy's skull.
Yep.
So you see that, and yeah, and also a pan along with a kitchen. So when you look through the living room, it connects the kitchen to the right.
Yep.
And there seems to be a stove that's lit. What do you do?
Currently lit.
Currently lit.
Okay. And I'm not hearing anything else in the house right now.
Nothing else is being heard in the house.
Okay. Do I have any sort of objects within the living room that I can have or get a hold of?
There's a sledgehammer right next to the walker that got killed.
Oh yeah, we're gonna pick up that sledgehammer.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm not walking anywhere without having something. I got my trusty hammer. It's right here. We're good. Got this. All right.
You got this.
All right. I'm going to I'm going to pick up the severed hand and I'm gonna throw it into the kitchen.
Okay.
Anything
Go ahead and throw it into the kitchen. Nothing happens.
All right. I'm going to cautiously walk into the kitchen.
Okay.
Very cautiously.
So as you're walking cautiously into the kitchen,
sledgehammer ready.
You're walking cautiously into the kitchen. Nothing happens. You look to your right, you look to your left. The kitchen just stove seems to be on. So there's nothing really out of the ordinary.
Because I am paranoid as all hell. Not just in this game, but when certain things like you're talking, over 10 years of military, certain things are starting to flag on me right now, real quick.
Okay.
When you say the stove is on, are we talking fire or no flame?
Fire.
Okay.
Yes, fire.
Okay. There's a big difference. I don't need to think something explode.
No, there's a big difference. It is on fire.
Okay.
You do see a match that was used to light this to your right.
Okay. I'm going to... And I see nothing else in the room, in the kitchen.
Nothing else is in the kitchen. No.
Any doors?
There is a door.
Okay. Is it a door to a back door, or is it a basement?
A back door. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is wide open.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Okay. Is there a window on, like, how the kitchens are built? Like, is there a window behind?
Yes, there is a window over the sink.
Okay. What am I seeing outside that window?
When you look outside that window, everything seems to be okay. You can still hear the cicadas.
Okay. Interesting. The cicadas are heavy tonight. All right. Got it.
Yes.
I'm going to turn off the stove.
Okay. Turn off the stove.
Turn off the stove.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did with that hand. I'm going to pick that stupid hand up and I'm going to throw it out the back window or the back door.
Okay. Throw it out the back door, and with a loud thump on the grass, you hear nothing else.
Okay. I'm going to close my distance to the back door, where the back door is open, and I'm going to look outside. What do I see to my left, right, and forward?
So you're looking outside?
Yeah.
All right. So as you look outside, a walker just comes out of nowhere.
Of course.
And comes straight at you. What do?
I'm going to take the sledgehammer to it.
Okay. Sledgehammer. All right. In this instance, our players would roll for it.
Right.
We're going to go ahead and I'm going to say you successfully rolled. So explain to me what you do.
All right. So I'm going to, as the walker is running at me, I'm going to pin myself to the side of the door frame, and then as it gets closer, I'm going to wheel back and I'm going to do almost like a horizontal swing to the chest to knock it down, and then I'm going to stand over it and I'm going to put the sledgehammer through its head.
All right, perfect. So you go ahead and successfully defeat your first encounter in this location. Yeah. But here's the problem. Yep. As you've made all that noise, other walkers have been attracted to the area now. So there's more walkers now in this area. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stay where you're at, or are you going to book it out of here?
All right. Do I see any more walkers at this point?
This point, you can hear them getting closer and closer.
Okay. I'm going to go back into the house because now I feel like this is more fun than not. No, just wait. This is about to get crazy. We're going to storm with this tonight. Okay, so when I go back into the house, I'm going to look. Okay. Is there any more matches?
There are no more matches now.
Oh, darn it. Do I have any sort of...
Do you have the door still open?
No, I'm gonna shut that door.
Okay, door is being shut.
All right. Man, these doors are loud.
Yeah.
I'm shutting them very quietly. Damn.
You said shut. So
I did.
shut
I did.
is-
You're right. You're right. Right.
You didn't say quietly shut the door.
Yeah.
You said I'm gonna shut the
I'm
door.
gonna shut the door.
Ka-dunk.
All right. So I'm currently pinned between two doorways, pretty much. Yeah, with feeling. That's right. With gusto. I just want to shut the doors. All right.
Okay.
And I can't find a match, so I can't make the house explode, which is kind of what I was hoping to do. Kind of makes me feel bad a little bit.
No.
Oh well. At least not right now. I might be able to come up with something in a minute.
So as you're still trying to figure out what to do, you start hearing what sounds like footsteps coming from upstairs.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I'm going to. Now, do these footsteps sound like they are aggressive, or are we talking they're just stepping?
You just hear footsteps.
Okay.
That's a good question.
I'm going to walk over to the edge where I can see the. So if the stairwell's coming down, can I see into the stairwell, or is it like I have to go around something?
So when you look into the stairwell, it wraps around so that it's like it's an old Victorian home. So
Right.
They usually have like a wraparound to the second floor.
Yep. So I can see kind of up to it without having to
A
go up
little
it.
bit.
Yep. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna get to a point where I can see up to the edge of the stairwell,
Okay.
and I'm gonna holler up, and I'm gonna say, "Is anybody else here?"
Silence.
Silence. Okay. But the step and the footsteps stopped.
The footsteps stop.
Okay, so it's not a walker, because walkers are dumb. They would have came straight down those stairs and tried to kill me. So, okay, got it. So I'm going to cautiously step up the stairs, and I'm going to keep my eyes wide open as I'm walking up those stairs.
All right.
What am I doing? Where am I at?
What are you doing?
Where am I at?
So when you're walking up the stairs,
Yep.
there's a balcony that you can overlook to see below. There's two rooms immediately in front of you.
Okay.
Both of them have the door closed. When you look to your left and you look to your right, you have one that looks like it's going into a bedroom. To the right has another door closed. So you have three doors that are closed. One to the left is open.
Three doors are closed, one to the left is open. Okay. Nothing on the floors. Can't tell if anybody where the footsteps were at.
No.
No. No dust in the house or dust in the house.
There is dust and dirt.
Okay. So I'm not tracked, but I'm not seeing any sort of like mess of what. Okay, cool. All right. So you said, so I can get the bearing. So there's three doors in front of me. One is open. Two are closed.
Three are closed.
Three are closed.
One is open.
open. Okay.
Correct.
What am I looking at if I'm looking through the door that's open? What kind of room?
If you
am I
look through the
looking
door that's open, you see a bedroom.
Okay.
You see a bookshelf, what seems to be up against the left-hand side of the wall, and you see a little bit of the bed.
into? Okay. Does the bookshelf look like it's been affected in any way by, like, just? Okay.
It's just like a regular bookshelf.
Okay. It's more so it's like how long has this been abandoned, if it's been abandoned. So since I can tell that it's not really been fully abandoned because of just things that are going on, I'm going to, in my 1, 2, 3, 4, should I go? I don't know. Chat, help me out here. Should we go through the door or should we open up one of the others? I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to do like this mystery door thing right now, and I don't know which
There
one.
are three mystery doors. Yep.
Three mystery doors. So 1, 2, 3. First person to say something is going to get the answer. So 2. Going in the middle door.
Okay. So as you go through the middle door, what are you doing? Are you opening it slowly? Are you kicking it down? Are you rushing in? What are you doing?
Just because I am absolutely unsure of what could be behind that door, I'm going to put my shoulder into that door and push it open.
Okay. So you're gonna slam it with your shoulder, kinda? Like
Well,
you're running
first
in?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if that door is unlocked.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
That's a good.
yeah,
that's
it's a
good
bit
thing.
different because I've hit a door when it's closed and locked. It's a little different. It hurts a lot.
It is a little bit different.
Yeah, but it takes a
so
lot more. gusto.
As you check the door, you
Yeah.
kind of like wiggle it to
Yeah.
see if it's locked or not. You find out that the door is not locked. So
It's
you
not
can
locked.
open it up.
All right. So I'm going to release it so that it's actually unlocked, like so it can be pushed. And I'm going
Okay.
to push the door open as hard as I can.
Okay. So as you push the door open, nothing happens.
Okay. And then what room am I staying in?
You are now looking into the bathroom.
Okay. Okay, so bathroom. Got it. Let's see. As I'm heading into the bathroom and there's no windows in the room or no?
No windows in the bathroom, no.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do I got towels, anything?
No.
Nothing. This place is cleaned out.
This place is cleaned out. Yep.
Great. I mean, see, it's cleaned out, guys. I can't do anything in here. Curiosity though. If
Yes.
I flip a nozzle on the faucet, is there water?
As you flip the faucet on the water, the one to your left, which is hot water usually, the one to your right, which is cold water, the hot water one doesn't work, but the cold water seems to be working.
Okay. So there is water. It's just not
Water.
Yeah, apparently the heater's out. Great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. So bathrooms kind of been looked through. We've got our 6 on that. Are we talking full tub, shower?
Full tub, shower,
Okay.
everything. Yep.
Curtain closed or open?
Curtain is open.
Okay, good. Because otherwise we were going to do the whole Jason thing, and I was going to put a sledgehammer through the curtain.
Is your back towards the door, or is it or are you standing sideways?
I'm standing sideways because I want to at least keep
Okay.
somewhat of an eye of everything.
All right.
Did the door open inward or outward?
It opened inward.
Okay, I figured because it's an inward door, but just making sure. Okay, I'm going to look.
Do you hear anything?
Do I hear anything? I hear nothing now. Sounds got really quiet. Come on, team. What am I doing? This would be fun to do, like as a 4-man squad of nothing but people. Just be wicked.
Well, we usually have 4 players.
Yeah.
4 to 5 players is what I have. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, we're gonna check another room. We're gonna go to the we're gonna go to the first room now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to the first room. We're gonna open that door. How are you opening that door?
First I'm gonna check it. Is it locked? Unlocked?
It's unlocked.
Unlocked. I'm going to this one because now that I've missed the first opportunity, and there's still somebody in this building that I don't know about. I'm going to take a step back, kick the door open, and step back towards away from the door.
Okay.
Sledgehammer ready.
As you do that and swing the door wide open, it hits the wall and it just does the as it like closes itself again.
Damn, I'm strong. All right, let's do this.
All right. So what are you doing?
All right, I'm going. Yeah, right. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna go back up to the door. I'm gonna just tap it this time.
Okay.
To open it.
All right. So as it taps, it does a little creaking sound. So it's kind of like.
Yep.
A little bit of a creak when you open the door, and when you open that door, it seems to be clear.
Yeah.
The room seems to be clear. Nothing's out of place. It's a bedroom. It's a second bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a little kid's place, but when you look inside, it's a sight to see. When you look to your right, you see what seems to be like a skeleton on a rocking chair.
Oh, snap.
And on the wall, it says, "I'm sorry," written in what seems to be red spray paint. And In the rocking chair is one person, and they have a shotgun that is laying on the ground. There seems to be a pool of blood there, and it seems to have some curtains that have holes in them. Um, there is a closet to your right, and behind that seems to be uh, canned food and medicine that's just laying out what seems to be someone's camp.
But this dude's dead.
Oh, he's dead, dead.
Dead, dead. Yeah. And you've got a shotgun laying in front, which we're definitely going to snag that because Dice said so. So we're going to pick that up.
So as you're picking up the shotgun,
yep,
all of a sudden you hear.
Hear what? Because I didn't hear anything.
You're about to.
Okay.
Do you hear that?
I do.
Yes. That's the ringing of your ears because someone came from behind the closet and hit you across the head, and you are now laying face down on the ground and passed out. You'll then wake up in another location inside of a cage. And in this cage,
oh snap,
there seems to be some dead bodies. And also the cage door seems to be open. What do you do now?
Oh, I have nothing else around me other than dead bodies.
Yep, your sledgehammer is gone,
and
your shotgun is no longer with you.
Yeah, hey guys, when you said shotgun, bad idea. Like, you know when you have those two people on your shoulder, one's the good guy, one's the bad guy? Yeah, I listened to the bad guy, apparently.
Yeah.
It's all right. We're good. It's all according to plan. I don't know whose plan yet,
everything's
but we'll
going well.
Everything's going well. All right, so I'm going to, I guess, peer out of the cage, and I'm in a cave.
You are not in a cave. You're in a warehouse.
Okay.
You're in a warehouse, and the cage is right smack in the middle of the warehouse. And when you look up, there's steel beams. This warehouse is huge. It's got really tall ceilings. It definitely looks like a warehouse from like that would store large items in it, almost like an airplane hangar. Almost. So I would say to be safe, it's more like an airplane hangar.
Okay.
But it's got closed doors. There's a door on each side of the warehouse. But you're smack in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And there seems to be a trail of blood on the floor that's kind of leading out of the cage towards the front door to your right. There's also seems to be bullet holes up on the wall alongside of the other side. And it seems to have a chainsaw, but the chain is broken.
But that's the only item I have.
It's the only item you got.
Well, I mean, I guess we're taking it because we don't really have another option. But before I pull this sucker, I'm looking around and I'm making sure there's no wires on this damn thing. Like we going full out investigative mode right now.
Okay. So you're gonna rev it up?
No, I'm not. Because if I rev that sucker up right now, everything's coming for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this if nothing else. I'm gonna use this as a blunt item to knock somebody out, if nothing else.
Okay.
And I'm going to head towards the door slowly. I'm going to keep my head on a swivel, and I'm going to push the door open slowly.
Okay. Slowly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like release, like push and then let it release so that it just kind of opens on its side.
It's kind of like it's opening up slowly.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it. All right. When you open up the door, what you're going to see in front of you is some dirt road. It looks like a dirt road, and you're going to see cornfield. A cornfield that's super, super tall. All right. Very tall cornfield, and you're going to see some dead bodies to your left and to your right and in front of you. What do you want to do?
I got dead bodies in my front and my left and my right. Cornfield in front of me. This is not the same warehouse that I had walked past before.
Not the same
warehouse.
I figured as much. You're in a completely different
area.
Location.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to, uh, and I see nothing in front of other than those things.
Nothing.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk out just a couple
Mm-hmm.
steps, and I'm
Okay.
gonna keep my eyes on the two dead things. Are there anything? Can I
Okay.
tell if they're moving?
They're not moving yet.
Oh, you said yet.
Yeah,
I
you haven't
thought
checked
that.
the bodies. So what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, you're right. Uh, yeah, exactly. He said yet. Uh, and I don't have a severed hand to throw at things right now. Yeah, I'm gonna kick its
Nope.
foot
You're gonna
on the
kick
left
its
one.
foot.
On the left one.
All right. On the left one, nothing seems to happen when you're doing that. However, there is an extra body below that one,
Yeah, of course.
and that one seems to start moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna use the body that's on top of it. I'm gonna put my foot on it to hold it down. I'm gonna find the
Okay.
head of that thing, and I'm gonna bust it with the back end of that chainsaw
All right. Okay.
as quietly as possible.
As quietly as possible. Awesome. Awesome. So that go ahead. That takes care of that. What else are you gonna do?
All
You can
right.
go straight to your left or to your right.
So I'm walking into a fucking corn maze, is what you're telling
Yep.
me. Shit.
Yep.
My terror is real. Every single haunted house is starting to catch up to me. Okay. All right.
As you're walking through, though,
Yeah.
you hear this.
Well, that sucks for him. Do I know which direction it happens?
You can it's in front of you. You can definitely tell it's in front of you.
Okay. How like? But are we talking like? But I'm guessing the cornfield isn't like a straight road forward.
It's the cornfield is wide.
Oh, okay.
So the cornfield is wide. If you're walking straight, you're going in the smack in the middle of the cornfield. So you can go right or left.
Hold on, fellas. Did you hear Warfield or did you hear cornfield? Because I heard Warfield.
Cornfield.
Okay, just checking. It's like Warfield sounds worse. Like,
I mean, there was dead bodies behind.
yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah, we got all sorts of crazy like flashbacks from my childhood when I was running through cornfields and getting attacked by creatures. It's great. It's a good time.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right, so I'm looking in front. I've got cornfield everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk towards the scream.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keeping my head on the swivel as normal because I'm not getting hit by the back of the head anymore. Bullshit. I've already got one knot on the back of my head. You just can't see it because it's back here. You just can't see it. So, yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere near a dang scarecrow. Are you
Okay.
crazy?
Do you hear that?
Is that a gun?
That's gunfire. Yes.
How far away? Can I tell?
It's shooting at you.
Oh,
It's
shit.
barely missing. What are you
I'm
doing?
running.
Okay. You're going straight, right, or left?
Can I tell where the gunfire's coming from?
No.
Okay, I'm going straight because I don't know any better right now.
All right. So as you continue to go straight,
And then I'm going to start
are you running
serpentining.
full
Oh,
sprint?
hell no. I'm serpentining here.
Okay, so are you running full sprint? Like you're serpentining, but are you running fast? Or are you like just kind of like, can't touch this?
I mean, I
Just
hate
like
to
dancing around.
see. I wish I was that person. Oh hell no! Like I've been under fire before. This is not something you just stop moving. You go.
Okay. All right. So you're moving full sprint
Yep.
ahead
And hoping I don't.
serpentining the
And
entire way.
hope I don't trip on something.
Actually, as you say that, you're gonna fall into what seems to be a large pit.
Oh shit.
And inside this pit is
Yep.
two dead walkers that were on chains. So they had hooks put into the back of their backs,
Yeah.
and it seems to have been ripped off of their flesh. So all that you have when you look at the hooks is the back of their backs on their hooks still, while the walkers are detached from it.
And they're still moving.
Then you also have what seems to be 3 bodies inside, bit to pieces. You have skulls of human remains all over the place, and also a knife stuck inside of one of the human remains. What do you do?
I've got my trusty chainsaw right now, even though it's not doing
Okay.
too much. Uh,
Okay.
all right. Uh, there's no way out.
There is a way out.
Up, or is what I'm asking?
Up is out.
All right. I'm going to first check the uh shit. Let's see here. I'm gonna go after the knife. I'm gonna see
Okay.
if if anything moves when I pull that knife.
Sure. When you pull the knife, nothing moves, but you do notice something a little strange when you look a little bit closer at one of the walkers.
Mm,
You see that the limb of what seems like a person's foot is inside of its skull. As when you examine it a little bit further, it looks like it was used as a weapon. So a piece of its femur was stuck inside of the walker's head. So that's how the walker got killed, was by using a body part and
right.
slamming it into the skull of the walker.
Damn. Somebody's intelligent or extremely resourceful when needs are needed.
You got to do what you got to do to survive in
Yeah,
this.
you're right. Yeah, he got curb stomped without being on the curb. Uh, I like that. Let's see here. So I'm grabbing the knife more as a way if I can use this almost as a secondary climbing device.
Okay.
Um,
So you see there's about a total of 5 bodies. Do you want to try to use those bodies as kind of like a Jacob's ladder out of there? So you stack them on top of each other to give you a little bit more height?
do all those bodies have heads or no?
All of them have heads, yes.
Okay, we gonna have to get really gruesome here. Like
Okay.
every single one of them, I'm head popping first. Like we're
All
gonna
right.
take the back end of that chainsaw and I'm going to bash that thing as hard as I can, even before that sucker moves.
All right. So when you do that the second time, the chainsaw breaks.
Damn it! Of course, my chainsaw breaks. Uh, we gonna have to go old school. I wish my tech was here because he did this in a D&D game, and I feel like it's something I gotta do now. Since you said there's skulls places, we gonna play
Yes.
skull boxing, and I'm gonna grab one skull from each with each
Okay.
hand, and I'm just gonna go to town on the rest of those heads until there's no more heads.
All right, perfect. So now you're drenched from head to toe with a mixture of what seems to be human blood and walker blood.
It happens.
So to kind of give you a description of how that actually smells, think of like burnt tires and what seems to be like human and dog waste,
Yeah, that's about right.
and
Yeah,
it's gonna smell
yeah,
pretty nice,
yeah.
it's very
Pretty
fresh.
fresh.
Pretty
Um,
fresh. So
I'm
you're
gonna
definitely covered from head to toe at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something that I didn't want to do. I'm either gonna cut off a sleeve or a pant leg,
Okay.
and I'm gonna wrap that shit around my face so that
Okay.
but I'm gonna flip it inside out, so hopefully it's at least less
Yeah,
covered.
that side is
Okay,
clean-ish.
ish. Yeah, sweaty,
It's sweaty.
but
It's
not
cleanish.
covered in. Especially if you use like jean material, because then it's like
Yep.
a little stronger.
A
Yeah,
little
so
bit.
yeah,
Okay.
and then we're gonna start stacking those bodies.
All right. So as you stack those bodies,
Yeah.
it looks like you're able to now make enough height to get yourself out of there. So what are you doing?
I'm going to try to, with the knife in hand on the other hand,
Okay.
I'm going to do one, I'm going to try to find some sort of footing to get about halfway up to getting over it, just so I can see out. Can I see anything?
You can see cornfields and ground. That's
Yeah,
all
that's
you can
about it.
see at
Got
this
it. All
point.
right.
Yep.
I'm going to pull myself out.
All right. You pull yourself out successfully.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to be in immediate danger yet.
Yet. Exactly. Yet. Do I see anything on the ground? Any bullets? Any shots? Nothing.
No bullets, no shots, nothing.
Damn it. I was really hoping to do either a coup de grace or a kamikaze here right now because as soon as I hear a shot going off, I'm going straight after this dude with a knife.
Okay.
Uh, Just heads up on that one. And I know it's never going to work because this is The Walking Dead, but we can at least try.
Okay.
Can I reach down and I know this is absolutely disgusting sounding, but can I reach any of the bodies below
You
without
can.
falling back in?
You can.
Do I have enough strength to pull one out?
We're gonna say yes in this
All right,
instance.
sweet. I'm gonna human shield this shit,
Okay.
and I'm going to hold the like the torso of this creature in front of me, and I'm going to start
Okay.
walking the direction north, um, trying to find any sort of higher ground,
Okay.
if
So as
possible.
you continue direction north, no gunshots are heard. But one thing that you will notice in The Walking Dead is that sound and fire attract walkers.
Yeah, I figured
So
as much.
even though you're no longer being shot at, you were shot at,
Yeah.
and now your threat level has increased pretty dramatically, and you are now surrounded by walkers in your area. What are you doing?
All right, we're gonna keep our guy real close because the first thing I'm gonna do is chuck a man in a walker.
Okay.
um,
You are running low on energy,
yeah, I can
just a
tell.
reminder,
Yeah.
because you haven't eaten anything and you're also got hit across the head. So
Yep.
you might have a minor concussion.
Probably. Yep. I'm telling you guys, we're going down tonight. It's gonna happen. Uh, all right, we're gonna try to find. Uh, actually, you know what? I know it's a weird thing to say, but we're in a cornfield.
Yep.
Uh, I'm gonna pull a piece of corn,
All right.
and it's not gonna taste great,
Okay.
but it's gonna be something.
All right. So when you pull that piece of corn and you pull back on it, the corn is not fresh at all.
Damn it!
It definitely has been rotten for quite a
I
while.
thought I'd
So,
try.
but there seems to be a little piece that seems to be somewhat fresh. So you go ahead and take a bite in it. And as everyone knows, corn is not very nutritious,
It's
but it is
not.
delicious. So
It's
you
not
go ahead
nutritious,
and
but hopefully it at least sustains somewhat of my
it'll
soul.
sustain you for a little bit
Yeah.
longer. Yes. You clear the cornfield, you're back into the forest now. What are you doing?
No, this was no luck. Back where I started. Back in the forest.
You're back in
um,
the
back in
forest.
the forest, and this forest is probably nothing but just large trees. I'm guessing
Large
large
trees. Yep.
trees.
Yep.
And I have
There
no.
are walkers coming behind you now, and there's to your left and right, and they're starting to swarm you.
Okay, I am gonna have to go full sprint until they start closing in, and then I'm dropping the body and running faster
All right.
until I run out of
So
energy.
they're definitely coming closer. They seem to be swarming towards you. They hear you, they see you.
Yep.
When you drop the body, it does nothing as the walkers don't like dead things.
Got it.
So they will continue to ignore that and come after you.
Yep.
You are now running full sprint towards the town once again. But as you start clearing the area, you don't notice to your left
Yeah, I don't notice anything.
two
At this point.
walkers,
Oh
and they
no!
come after you.
Oh no!
And as they get too close to you, one of them bites down on the back of your shoulder and the other one bites down on your arm. It starts ripping flesh off of your arms and limbs, and what seems to be like superhuman strength starts to rip across your chest
Oh,
cavity. But before we continue, we're going to take you back to a place before all of this happened and think of a happy moment of when you were in a restaurant with one of your close friends having a drink, maybe a beer, maybe scotch, and you just hang out, talk about the good times, reminisce the things that happened, and talk about how much Twitch has been the lifeblood of your community
Yeah.
Discord, talking to everybody, thinking about if you have a family and kids and you guys reminisce the good old times. You guys have been best friends since, kindergarten. And as these memories flash through your head, the camera pans out and looks over you as you're being ripped to pieces. And we fade to black.
Thank you. I have gotten my first experience with The Walking Dead. It is fantastic. Oh, it was so good. Thank you very much for just
Of
walking me through
course.
that. Um, that was so much
That's
fun.
just a small little area too.
Yeah.
And to kind of give you an understanding what you walked through was last week's episode of what happened, with the exception of the ending. I gave you a unique ending.
A unique ending of
But
being eaten alive.
being eaten alive. Um it was last week's episode, and we actually had somebody lose their limb, and they had to figure out that stuff. They turned on the stove. They had to like figure out how to cauterize the wound because he was going to bleed out. So it was very intense sessions, and
Yeah.
uh, the things that you walked through were just what happened afterwards because they killed everybody. So I was just putting you in little bits
Bits
and
and pieces.
pieces
No, it was great.
of what happened last week,
Yeah,
so that you
definitely.
could see the universe being built. And there's some other things that I could have mentioned, but would have made no sense.
No, I appreciate that. No, like I said, as we continue our world building interviews, I think these are a lot of fun, and I've got kind of some new ideas of how I kind of want to run them. And playing as the game master, and you kind of just doing this one on one, walking me through your world in a scenario that actually has excitement and has, horror and drama and those types of things. It was really a lot of fun, and getting to experience a new game like The Walking Dead, because the scenario in the world is so much different than what high fantasy is.
Hmm.
Um, Even much different than like what low fantasy is. Like Lord of the Rings was pretty gruesome and it was pretty dark like that, but it
Hmm.
wasn't to this level where there's, everything is out to kill you. Everything.
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 There is no safe
There
spot,
is no
and
safe.
that's the kind of point that as a DM, as a GM, I have session zeros, and they're very important to establish your character with me, even if they're one
Mm-hmm.
shots. And I reiterate the fact that there is no safe area, and if there is a safe area, it won't be safe for much longer.
Right.
So it's a matter of always you're always kind of working against the clock. And what I love about this universe is that um everything is very reactive to the choices you make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it
S-
very much is. And it's cool because it's one of those things like we didn't roll a single dice, and yet it
Nope.
still made sense. Everything's still
Hmm.
connected and everything was great. Um, and I will say that is one thing that Free League has done tremendously.
Absolutely.
All of their game
100%.
systems are this way. And the crazy thing that, and I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a tangent, and then we're going to wrap this up for the evening.
Sure.
But Free Leagues, not only do they do it incredibly, every single one of their games is a new system. Like
Yeah.
Alien has its own type of dice set. The Walking Dead, I'm sure, has a different type of dice set. The One Ring has a different type of dice set. And
Hmm.
they all, but think of how much time, energy, and like mechanics have to go into every single game because every single game is completely different.
Right.
Like that to me just blows my mind because they've got
Yeah,
what,
absolutely.
like a dozen different systems? Like
It's I mean,
it's
well, I mean,
crazy.
a lot of their systems are similar.
They're
So
similar.
Alien and The Walking Dead, I believe, are off of Session Zero
Okay.
systems. So, you roll D6 dices, and like the different abilities and skills and talents that you do
Mm-hmm.
are definitely different. But for the most part, the best thing about Free League is that a lot of it, like you said, a lot of it does cross over as far as like their system is concerned, because you have archetypes, you have skills, you have talents. And the most important thing is that and this is something that I loved talking to the Free League ambassadors is you make your own story.
Hmm.
What's important aren't mechanics. What's important is telling the story together
Oh yeah.
and being able to just sit here and have a good time. I mean, we went through a story that I've already told, but it was different with you.
Right.
It was the same setting,
Right.
but
The
you
story will be
were
different.
experiencing it now in a different way.
Right.
And that's the exciting thing about all these universes that you're able to build, is
Yeah.
just tell these stories and interconnect them, even if they're one shots, right, together,
Oh
which
yeah.
is the exciting part.
Definitely. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed this tonight. It was a lot of fun. It was cool to experience the Walking Dead experience that I've never really connected with. I watched the
Sure.
first season and I was like, "Oh, this is really neat," but then I fell into a new series and it died at that point. I am I'm the equivalency of like a cat. You have to rail me in, or I'm in
Yeah,
trouble because I would
no.
just go somewhere else. Uh, this is why my players have such issues with me because they're like, oh nope, he took another tangent, we're gone. I was like, well, sorry, we'll figure it out sooner or later. We'll catch you back up.
I am definitely a storyteller, as
Yeah,
most of
same.
my viewers. I love telling a story. I love connecting things together, and
Yeah,
I'm super excited. So
yeah, no, and definitely go check him out on both Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. He's got some great ideas coming up here soon. Was had an opportunity and the privilege to meet him at PAX U along with so many creators. It was absolutely incredible.
yes.
So definitely keep an eye out for him. Uh, how can they find you? What's your next big project that they can keep an eye
So
for?
tomorrow, I don't know if this video is going to be out for those who are watching live. Tomorrow, you get to watch episode 2 of the Walking Dead series that I am building together. These are one shots, so every single time that I have a Walking Dead cast out, it's not going to be the same cast members. There might be some times that I may recall, if they survive, to come back to do a continuation of the story, but we're building a universe, which means this is all connected somehow. And you'll see that tomorrow, hopefully, with our second episode of the TTRPG, The Walking Dead universe. The first episode was called Escaping Death. This one tomorrow, I won't give away the title because it's going to be really cool, but I'm very excited about that. We got 4 awesome players. You can find us usually live Monday through Thursday playing TTRPGs, RPGs, or JRPGs on all of the socials. And It's been absolute pleasure. I love the fact that I was able to meet you during or excuse me, not Gen Con, but
Yep,
PAX U,
PAX U.
and get to see you again here shortly, hopefully for Gen Con and some other stuff as well. So, and
Definitely.
you might see him in one of our shows. So stay tuned.
Oh my goodness, it'd be great. I love it. No, it's awesome. And definitely go check him out. He's got some really cool stuff going on with the Walking Dead RPG. Um,
Yes.
and this is the first week I get to be excited because I'm back. I'm back in the GM table, so
Nice.
I'm no longer on the Misfits for my GMs. I'm playing only here at the Tavern, and we're hoping to build a whole bunch of different stories with a whole bunch of guests here at the Tavern this year. But if you want to see what my GM style is like, I'm over at Gen Con TV's main Twitch channel on Monday nights. We launched our first episode this Monday called "The Trail's Gone Cold." We're exploring our way through Icewind Dale. We've got 4 amazing cast members. We're all covered in cosplay, and it's so much fun.
That's awesome.
Oh, we are having so much fun. And I'm so excited because we're playing before everything goes to absolute crit chaos. And
Hmm.
then one of our players who is not here yet is going to be the catalyst for all of the chaos to start. And it's going to be so
That's
excited.
amazing. That's exciting.
So get ready, get excited. If you can and you were willing to do so, please jump over to Gen Con TV's YouTube channel and check it out on there if you haven't had a chance to watch it on Twitch. Next week's episode launches Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, you can check us out over here at Tabletop Misfits on Wednesday nights, right like tonight. And we're going to bring another guest in next week. And I believe this guest is also going to be walking us through their world. And I have more ideas of how I'm going to torture that guest the same way I did this one because I love actually playing in worlds, even if I don't play dice. So there is that. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank
North,
you. It
and
was a pleasure.
oh, so much fun. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the next weeks. Hopefully, you guys will come join us again, and we'll see you guys very soon over here on Tavern Talks. The tavern is closed. Last call is done. Pour your last drink and go have some fun. Good night.
Good night, guys.